Hi everyone, this is Arwani, and today we're gonna be talking about leadership. I think just to give a bit of context as to why I'm doing this video today, I think given the current circumstances, given the situation that we're in right now, the coronavirus and everything that is happening right now around the entire world, not just here in South Africa where I'm shooting from, I think we can all agree that the world right now needs more leaders more than ever. Right now, everyone is just in a state of panic. People are afraid. People are uncertain. They don't know what's going to happen to their companies. They don't know if their jobs are safe. People are afraid. Are they going to live? Are they going to make it through this pandemic? And for me, I feel that right now, it is time for leaders out there to stand up and lead, for it is not all doom and gloom. This is a time where we need positive leaders. This is a time where we need people that will just take away everyone from the panic, and not people that is going to add to the panic, to add to the fear, to add to the uncertainty. Okay. I consider, you might be thinking to yourself, but wait a minute, I'm not a leader. So I consider most of us leaders. Most of us are leaders in our community. We've got people looking up to us. Most of us are role models. You've got, people in your family that look up to you when there's problems, and when someone is to come up with solutions. People generally look up to you. Some of us are fathers. Some of you are parents out there. Your children are looking up to you. There's people going to work right now, essential services. You are leaders. You are leaders. And people look up to you. And it's very important for us as leaders, for everyone out there for that matter, as a leader, to portray a positive attitude. For I truly believe that together we can beat this pandemic. We just need to look at things a little more positive and stop focusing on the problem itself. Okay, so maybe before I continue, for those that are joining me for the first time, you can just go ahead and smash the subscribe button, so that when I post more of these kind of videos, you can be alerted. And for those that are joining us for the first time, again, welcome to our community, and here's to many great times ahead. Okay, so the aspect of leadership that I'm going to be discussing today is, for me, it's the most important one. I'll go as far as calling it the first aspect of leadership. I believe that before you can actually go out and attempt to lead people, before you can actually go out and assume a leadership position, your own house needs to be in order. So what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about the subject of who are you? Who are you? Who am I as a leader? Who is Arwani? Before I can go and try and lead people out there, I need to understand first, who am I? In me understanding who am I, it is easy to lead. Okay, so who are you? There are three things that I'm going to talk about on that specific topic in terms of who are you. And okay, here we go. The first one is, how do you define yourself? How do you define yourself? So I am Arwani, but how do I define myself? Am I a guy that makes things happen, or do I wait for others to make things happen? Am I positive in every situation, or am I more negative? Am I calm? Do I display patience, or do I overreact when things don't necessarily go the way that we thought they would be going? So this, for me, is very important, because if you don't understand who you are, if you cannot define who you are, then unfortunately the environment around you, the world, will do that for you. If you're not in a position where you have defined who you are, rest assured the environment, the world, is defining you, is telling you who you are. So if you don't make a choice today to say, you know what, me, myself, I'm a positive person. If you're not going to tell that to yourself, then the world might decide otherwise for you. So it is very important to understand how do we define ourselves, so that in every situation we must remember this definition of ourselves. If I say I am positive, if I say I am calm, if I say I am accountable, then it means in every situation I need to check myself against my own definitions. I need to check myself to understand that how I react when situations arise, it's based on how I define myself. Every morning when you get up, what I always do when I get up is I always ask myself that question: how do I define myself? So how would I like to define myself today? And then I contemplate what are the things that I'm gonna do, that I'm gonna purposely do that define who I am. So at the end of the day, after the day has gone by, I go through the day purposefully, because I know who am I, how I've defined myself. So what happens is, as the day goes by, I check myself against how I define myself. I've defined myself as a positive individual. So whenever situations arise, I always stop for a minute to think, am I reacting in a positive matter in this instance? How could I be more positive in this scenario? At the end of the day, I ask myself, I review the day. On the way my day has gone. Was I positive? Did I display positive? What situations did I come across? And did I react in a way that I say I am? So, guys, I feel it is very important. You need to define yourself. Because in the absence of you defining yourself, then your friends will start defining you. Your colleagues will start defining you. Your job starts to define you. People start to say things that may not necessarily be true about yourself. And the most dangerous thing that can happen is you might actually start to believe it. And once you believe it, you'll start acting accordingly. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, in life, you'll meet people that are not necessarily aligned with you. You know, people that short-tempered people all around us. And when situations don't go well, they start calling out names. You know, so imagine you are in this situation. You've got a friend who always panics. You've got a friend who always overreacts. You've got a friend who has a short temper, or a family member for that matter. And whenever something goes wrong, that particular friend calls you names. That particular friend or that loved one, or it can be a colleague, says things like, you cannot be trusted. You are, things like, you are stupid. How could you not think of that? Things like, you are lazy. Why was that not done? So in the absence of you defining who you are, all your mind knows is all these other definitions that are being thrown around you. And over time, unfortunately, your mind starts believing these definitions, and your mind starts producing what you believe about yourself. So if you define yourself as a positive person, your mind will start believing that you are positive, and you'll start behaving in a way that reinforces that belief about yourself. So it is very important to understand how you define yourself. Stay true to that definition. So maybe today take some time to do this. Grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and just write down 5 words. 5 words that define who you are. I've already listed some few examples. I'm not saying follow the words that I've written. That was just basically examples. But just write 5 words that define who you are. And those 5 words, write them on your phone. Keep them close to you. And through your days, keep on repeating those words to yourself about yourself. Keep on repeating them, those words. And at the beginning of each day, go through that list of 5 words that you've written to define yourself. And then ask yourself, how are you going to purposely live those definitions on your day ahead? How are you going to purposely be positive? How are you going to purposely be calm? How are you going to purposely be accountable? And like I said, those are just examples. And then at the end of the day, review your day. Review your day. Did I live out the way that I said I would? Was I purposeful in living out my definitions? So the more you do this, the more you reinforce to your mind who you are, and the more all the other definitions of who you are that may be brought to you by the external environment, the more they mean less to you. Okay, so let's try that. Try it for a week. Try it for 2 weeks. Try it for as long as you need to, and have a look at how that is going to change your life. But I can promise you it will definitely change your life for the better. So that is point number 1. How do you define yourself? Point number 2, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Now I know this is a bit of a tough subject, in that many are waiting to just wake up one day and a purpose will be made known to them. Many go through their lives and only discover what their purpose is at the age of 40. Some discover their purpose at the age of 15, at the age of 16, or even younger. So what I'm saying is, it is very much important to understand what your purpose in this world is, because I believe that each and every individual is here to contribute, to serve your gift to the world. So as a leader, you need to be fighting for a purpose. You need to be working towards a certain purpose. And the people that you're leading, that is the purpose that you are leading them towards. You know, from that purpose, it inspires a vision where you are leading your people towards a particular vision. But you need to understand what your purpose is. Understanding your purpose is important in that now you understand what you need to focus on. You understand what you need to focus on. My purpose is simple. My purpose, I want to help people. I want to help people be their best. I want to help people do better in what they do. I want to help people believe that they can do anything that they set their mind to. That is my purpose. I want to help everyone around me. I want to be that positive voice in their head that says you can do anything that you want to do. And I would really, really love to see that happen in the lives of those around me. And that is my purpose. So what is your purpose? So with that in mind with me, what I'm saying is, even through this time of the coronavirus, even through all the fear, through all the uncertainty, through all the panic, I always remind myself about about what my purpose is. And so every conversation that I'll have with anyone, every action that I will do, I make sure that it is aligned with my purpose. I always ask myself, that which I am doing now, is it aligned with what I said I want to do? You know, it sounds a bit similar to defining yourself, but this is more purpose. This is more about what you would like to achieve, what contribution you would like to give. You know, so it is really important for me to discover what your purpose is. Okay. So when you know your purpose, as I've said, you know what you need to focus on. And focus is very important, because once you understand what are the things that you need to focus on, it then becomes easy to identify what is noise in your life. You know, I mean, right now there is a lot of noise. There is a lot of noise. There's a lot of people saying all the negative things. There's a lot of people talking about information that it's noise to you, because it does not serve to your purpose. So it makes it easy to cut out all information that you do not need. I'm not saying go out there and be ignorant, but I'm saying that when you know what your purpose is, you are more focused on that. And when you're more focused, it's easier to understand what is noise in your life, what it is that you need to cut out. So when you've got focus, you understand where you need to be spending your time. I mean, at the end of your day, it is easier to ask you to have a look at all the time that you had and ask yourself, how many hours did I spend today working on my purpose? How many hours did I spend today working on my purpose? And the more time you spend working on your purpose, the more results you'll get. It doesn't matter what is happening all around you. Always think of your purpose. So what is your purpose? Give yourself time. Think about that, what your purpose is. Now, there's a lot of philosophies on how do I discover my purpose. I'm not going to go into that now. We can go into it in a later stage when we are purely discussing purpose. Okay? So that is number 2. What is your purpose? Number 3, what do you believe in? What do you believe in? Now, myself, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Holy Spirit. So what does this say to me? This says that because I believe in that, I spend most of my time reinforcing that belief. I read the Bible. What do you believe in? How are you reinforcing your belief? Because if you do not believe in anything, then anyone can just tell you anything. You'd be like a tree that bends in any direction that the wind blows it in. But when you have a strong belief, when you believe in something, you stick to what you believe in. I mean, the example that I've made about myself, my faith tells me that the Holy Spirit dwells within me, and He that is within me is greater than anything else out there. So already that says to me that yes, I agree. The coronavirus, the COVID-19 is out there, but He that is within me is greater than anything that is outside. So that belief, it keeps me going. I do not get distracted with fear. I don't get distracted with panic. I don't get distracted with uncertainty, because I know what I believe in. So it is very important for you to understand what do you believe in and stick to your belief so that you don't get blown by any wind from any direction. Now, I'm not saying other beliefs are more right than others. Your belief is your choice. It's a choice that only you can make. So those are the 3 things that I don't want to make it too long. Those are the 3 things that I just want us to focus on today. So who are you? Who are you? How do you know who you are? Who are you? We looked at 3 things on that subject to say, you know what, how do you define yourself? Are you a positive person? Are you a negative person? What is your purpose? What are you working towards? What would you like to contribute to this world? And lastly, what do you believe in? Are you steadfast in that belief? Or are you like a wind? Or are you like a tree that gets blown in every direction by the wind? I truly believe that during this time, there's great leaders that are going to rise. And I believe that you are going to be one of them. So go out there, be positive. Don't be part of the panic. Don't be part of the fear. Don't be part of the uncertainty. These too shall pass. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. We have now come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative to you, and I hope that you'll be joining me again next time. So as I have said, hit that subscribe button and let's meet again next time. Thank you.